Hi, Paige. We're going to take a look at your emphasis posting and give a little bit of observation. So we'll call your posting up here and take a look. So it looks like you have everything in order. I know that the selection process can be very difficult, but you've got them all up there. As you know, as I described in the overall, this is really about working through a variety of themes, a variety of prompts, and sort of challenging you to move away from subject and consider more about content, about what it is that you mean to communicate, rather than what it is you mean to document, because a photograph does the documenting whether we want to or not. So we start off with something that extremely far away. We know that we're aiming toward a building. That is the target, but it isn't necessarily the sole subject of what we're doing. So I think you did an excellent job in the beginning here, because it's clear that what we're looking at has more to do with the environment than the building itself. As you have more of the sky and less of the ground, what you're doing is you're giving more emphasis to the sort of atmosphere, and you're pulling all that energy down into the bottom. It's a beautiful sort of texture that you're getting, which is exactly what you'll be looking for on cloudy days like that, when there is very little hard shadows, meaning cast shadows and things. You're really looking for things like color and texture and shape to sort of dominate the composition, because you don't have the shadow areas to work with you. Here you have these beautiful leading lines, giving us basically an arrow. You are pointing us right at that. So I'm seeing this over and over again in many of your images, where you are taking advantage of some design principles that we haven't covered yet. And that's good. As part of the project was to kind of pre-evaluate where everybody is in terms of their knowledge, their background, their experience. Now, you may not have like this formal background. This may be just intuitive. This may be just sort of how you see things, which is fantastic. Now you're going to be giving names to it if you don't already have it, or at least you're going to be adding a name to it or modifying how you approach it. This is, again, very good in terms of the layering, in terms of the construction, in terms of being able to break it down and sort of dissect it into shape rather than into a building itself. It doesn't really matter, does it? These are the things that we want to first and foremost be able to do. Then we could start to bring back the subject itself when we need to, because it's very easy to bring the subject back by addressing it in a slightly different way. When people see it, they're automatically going to want to leap toward the subject. So they're automatically going to see something like this, no matter how abstract, and they're going to go right to it. You have a very, very sort of formal sympathy here with all of these photographs, and that is very, very interesting. Even with these elements here, with the organic structure here, the sort of flow here next to this hard geometric area with the tree positioned just so. It's very graphic, the way that you're doing it. Graphic meaning very well organized and set up on what you almost would consider a grid, where things are lining up in a pattern that sort of helps us to organize in a very specific way. This will serve you quite well. We do want to sort of break that up at times to get you into a more organic flow, something that is a little bit more messy, but we don't want to get rid of the personal tendency toward this organization. This is where I'm seeing, when you get real close, you're kind of like, I don't know what to do here. Something like this, you're a little less sure of what exactly do I do here. They're less, I guess, sure of themselves, if that makes any sense. There's nothing inherently wrong with them, but they are certainly not as confidently made as something like this, which is pretty much in your wheelhouse here. It looks like you're, exploring things in a pretty thorough way. You chose to go ahead and go vertical on on something that would traditionally be a landscape, which is a bold choice. Remember that going into the vertical or horizontal is a active choice right from the very beginning. So that's what I have for you right now. You can, of course, refer back to the overall. I encourage you to look at some of the other reviews as well. You'll get some good information there. And I look forward to seeing more of your imagery. All right. Bye-bye now.